Now back to Property Source Radio with your hosts, Brenna and Pat, on Sports Radio 950 ESPN.
Welcome back, Property Source Radio. We've got a caller on the line for our home inspector, Matt. What do you know? Mike, what do you know?
I'm a retired electrician.
Morning.
Hi, good morning. My name's Mike. I'm a retired electrician, and I had a question for the inspector.
Go ahead.
For Matt. How in depth do you get on a home inspection as far as the electrical goes, and what do you look for?
Al?
We don't go in and look at the house as far as any code violations. It's more looking to see if there's any unsafe conditions with the electric. We do pull the cover off the main panel box and any sub panels, and everything is basically a visual inspection. There is no tearing apart of any components inside the home. Mostly it's safety.
Are you selling your house, or what's going on?
No, I've been in my house for 28 years, and I'm not about to sell it.
Just kind of curious.
My box is in good shape. So
okay.
What I wonder is, do you recommend changing things like aluminum wire, or when you get into a box, do you say, okay, this is an old 60 amp, it's antiquated? Do you recommend changing services or anything like that, or?
Well, if you got ball and tube, I would say get rid of it. No?
I can't really tell you how to make the repair on anything. All I can do is recommend further evaluation and by a qualified contractor, and then let them determine what the need is.
Okay.
Whether there's an adequate amount of service in a particular home, I can't do that either. But I do tell people if there's aluminum wiring, some of the safety concerns, things along that line, and also with knob and tube.
Is that your own personal decision, or is this regulated by your association there? Do they have a set of rules that you should follow?
I have certain guidelines I have to follow, yeah. And a lot of it has got to do with liability also. So
right, liability on your part, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thanks for the call. And that's another thing, too. If you are... if you're preparing your home for sale, you want to get it updated or have somebody look at it. You guys do that, right?
Yeah. This caller's. I was just going to say that also on the commercial break they were talking about that, Jeff. For example, the caller is in his house for 28 years. You can call Lake Country Home Inspectors, and they'll come out and inspect. You guys will come out and inspect the home, even if I'm not selling it or I don't have a buyer right. I mean, just tell me if there's stuff that needs to be done. Is that correct?
Yep.
Before it goes to sale.
Or just to make it safe, or make sure, you've been in there a long time. You never know what rots or what goes to heck. So just to kind of...
That's a smart idea, actually.
There's a lot of different needs as far as inspections on houses. I find that one of the main things I see is the way a secondary roof is put on a house is not the way it should be, and most people won't get up on their house to look at it. As long as it's not leaking, it must be okay, but
if it ain't
that's not
fixed,
necessarily the case.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
But for the cost of a home inspection, it goes a long ways as far as making it a good
Hey, how can they get a
situation.
hold of you if somebody wanted to take advantage of that?
You can call me on my cell phone, 585-727-7119.
And you guys have a website too, right?
Lake Country Home Inspections.
.com. Nice. Very nice. Well, thank you guys for joining us. We have some news here that
we do. You were holding out on me. Certain home buyers who took advantage of the federal tax credit from 2008 and 2009 and part of 2010 were allowed to claim a tax credit based on the home's price purchase up to $7,500 in 2008 and up to $8,000 in 2009 and 2010. But people are going to have to start paying it back.
Wait a second. Pay it back?
Yes, that's what it says. Homeowners must pay the first installment up to $500 when they file their 2010 tax return in April. Do you know how many home buyers are specifically bought a home?
That was the first tax credit? Is
yes,
that what it was?
That's the first tax credit. But it actually...
Well, I think they knew that going in, didn't they?
I mean,
it wasn't a gift.
Well, that was from
the second one was the gift.
From a realtor standpoint, would you have encouraged your prospective home buyers to take advantage of that? I know a lot of them did.
I would have encouraged the buyers to take advantage of it, but I would have probably forgot the part to say, you might have to pay it.
That's what I mean. There's a lot of realtors out there that were like, hey, buy this house, $8,000 in your pocket.
I'll tell you what, to be honest with you, they might not have even known a realtor may not have even known because they might not delve into the the law or the federal gifts, if you will,
Okay.
those incentives.
I'm
So
just thinking if you are worth your weight as a realtor,
Yeah.
then you would want to know that. So when you
Good-
tell a home buyer,
good point, but
this
they're
is
busy people too.
So what they got paid? The whole thing back?
the whole thing back, starting
Within
with
15 years.
starting with their 2010 tax return.
So
So
it's
when you
not
do your
even-
taxes this year,
I'm
January.
going to lie on my taxes if that comes up.
Did you?
See, you sound like this guy's a crackpot.
Don't tell everyone. You got 1,000 people listening right now, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even know this thing
And
was
I'm going to
on.
go through a few red lights on my way home, too, just so that.
Well, with the red light cameras, you will
Did you
get caught.
see that? They had 500 and something. I think I saw that.
Actually, you know what? That one camera is on J and Lake Avenue or State Street.
Uh-huh.
I was on that. This way I go home, and I tell you, I saw somebody run that, and I said, well, they're getting a ticket. I mean, because it's,
Yes,
it's
they're gonna. It does it at the toll. You probably heard my thing on the radio about the toll booth blowing through that, and I got my thing revoked. That's true. Don't do it. Don't gun it through the light. You're gonna get the ticket. I swear. Or they'll tell
How
you.
much did they charge you? The full?
I got fined. I got shut down. I got revoked. I got several things in the course of about 3 months, and then they said, "Please send us back your thingy." Well, my
How
window.
much? You got to pay the full thing. It was
it's-
like $20, wasn't
It's
it?
been about 3 years. $20. I've never gotten off that easy. I don't even remember, to be honest. I think it was like $58, maybe $68
Just
for the
get the
fee.
Easy Pass, man.
That's what I did, and I was trying to blow through it.
oh,
it
you
was
went too fast.
yeah, I was. They were remodeling the Victor one. I get on the Victor one every week, and I go out, and they were remodeling it, so they didn't have any barriers or anything like that. So I thought you could just blow through it, and I tried to just see how fast. Honestly, I tried to see how fast it would go and still pick up and register that I was going through. Yeah, you don't go through at 50. It's not smart.
That's how fast you went through it?
A couple of times
Oh, my
30,
God.
couple times 50, and then they shut you right down.
Well, I can tell you that the red light camera initiative has been a success, and so there are going to be more of those red light cameras popping up.
That's huge
The man
revenue.
is watching.
Do you know what I'm going to do out in Pittsford? I'm going to install all those cameras around my neighborhood. That's huge revenue. I'm
That's
going to bill everybody.
What would be the point of that?
Because I can.
If they drive down your street, you're going to charge them. You
Absolutely.
cannot drive
Look, do you
by
see how
Pat
many
Quinn's
tic-
house.
Do you see how many tickets they've given out in the city in a
Yes.
week? It's hundreds, 500 and
Hundreds
something.
of tickets.
Think about if I did that in my neighborhood, like 4 or 5 lights. I just put up cameras in. How much revenue am I going to bring in?
And here's the
you won't be
thing.
looking at me on Saturday mornings. I'll tell you what.
It's not like this was a surprise. Like, oh my God, there's red light cameras. I mean, people knew about them, where they were going to be.
I know, that's
what
funny.
corners, what intersection. It was
weren't
all
hiding
over
it.
the news. Every radio outlet was talking about it. How do you still get a ticket?
I know. Isn't that kind of weird? Kind of makes you wonder.
Well, if you listen to this damn show,
Yeah.
I know why
Nobody.
you're getting tickets because you're not paying attention to the lights. Well, hey, we got Steve Hausman with us in studio here. Good morning. Welcome. He's the new host.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to jumping in full time next. Oh, I'm starting to work on a holiday weekend. Whose idea was that?
Jeff's.
You can blame
Next
Jeff for
Saturday.
that.
I wouldn't have done
Cracks
that.
the whip
Yeah.
around here.
But I'm really looking forward to it. And the thing I like about our guests, I like the mom and pop aspect of their
Yep.
home inspection company. I would hire you guys in a minute. It's great to have you come in today. And but seriously, I'm looking forward to my involvement with this show every single
Very
Saturday.
glad to have you on here. Very
Yeah. In Lake Country Home Inspections, do you guys have anybody else that works with you or for you or just by yourselves? All by yourself? Okay.
Just by ourselves.
Cool. That's good.
Nice.
And you work 7 days a week, as you told me this morning?
We do.
How long
Margaret's
have you
over here
been-
Wow.
prodding me. She goes, I got something to say about the.
Well, I just wanted to let everyone know that you can find a licensed New York State home inspector by going to the New York State website, where they list all the licensed New York State inspectors. And you can also look at the website for the American Society of Home Inspectors, which has all the inspectors that are certified through ASHI, and it gives a lot of information about home inspections as well.
And what's ASHI again?
The American Society of Home Inspectors.
You guys have an annual convention in Vegas?
Well, we did last year.
Yeah, that must be a lot of fun.
This January, it's in Atlanta, and next
Oh.
year, I think it goes to Phoenix.
Well, we're glad you could join us today. Feel free to have a donut. I brought some donuts by.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for the
I wanna-
opportunity to be here.
Yeah, thanks, Al, for joining us. I was just going to say, Steve, the story you told me about the free donuts. I want to be like you someday. You stroll in.
I do. I work on one of the other stations here in the company on WBEE, and I do commercials for Dunkin' Donuts. So they're nice enough. Jeff is the manager of the East Avenue Dunkin' Donuts. And I go in there a lot because we drink coffee in the morning and they give me free coffee. And I always go into the same Dunkin' Donuts once a week. Once a week, I swear this happens. And Jeff, the manager, has no idea who I am. No clue. I'll walk in, he'll say things like, "Hey, buddy." "Hello, pal." Or he'll say, "Oh, there he is." All he knows, this poor guy knows he has to give me free coffee. And the other day he called me, "Hey, how you doing, Doc?" He called me Doc. So I went in this morning. He never sees me on Saturday. And he says, "Well, pal, I see you here on a Saturday." So, and the poor guy, I mean, I'm not the kind of guy who said, "Well, don't you know who I don't do that."
Introduce yourself.
I did a couple times.
My
name's
question
Pat
is,
Coyne.
do they ever give him a day off? I mean, if you go in there every day.
I was shocked that he was there on a Saturday.
And you get there like at 3 a.m, don't you?
Well, no, they don't open. I'll go by after work because I get here at 4 a.m, and the Dunkin' Donuts on East Ave doesn't open till 5. So,
And that's a crazy one. That's when they have lineups to
yeah,
get in there.
yeah. That's what used to be a gas station there on East Ave, and Lewis and the guys from Dunkin' Donuts turned it into one of their best stores.
Wow.
Yeah. So we'll have donuts every
Actually,
Saturday.
John
Good,
Tommaso
good.
was part
Thanks.
of that, too.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sweet.
So I'll take your donut order for next Saturday now.
Oh, awesome. Thanks, Steve. Thank God.
And my buddy there.
Things are
Thanks,
looking
buddy.
up. Yeah, buddy. Things are looking up.
Appreciate it, pal. Okay. Back to the
Property Source Radio.
Property Source Radio. It starts here.
Yes.
right?
It will make you smarter.
Well, that's what we try. We try to make you smarter.
Lake Country. Hey, Al, why don't you give out, or Margaret right there, you got the mic. Why don't you give out your phone number one more time?
Our phone number is 585-727-7119.
Thank you. Lake Country Home Inspections.
.com.
LakeCountryHomeInspections.com.
Okay, so moving forward, we've got Steve Hausman hosting next week.
Am I fired?
No, you're still here.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
But you know what? We got Thanksgiving this week coming up here.
Yeah.
So he needs to blow out a wall in his kitchen so he can make.
So he can make us all Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh, nice.
Thanksgiving dinner at Steve's house. Welcome to the show, buddy.
Buddy.
Hope you all like tofurkey.
Sounds good. We'll see you next week. Stay here. PropertySourceRadio.com if you want to check out this show online. Take care.